to the Scam Slam channel. I'm here to bring you content from both shady and some not so shady individuals on TikTok. Ever scrolled through your For You page and come across a sketchy scam or a questionable character? Well, you're not alone, and that's where I come in. On this channel, I'll be diving deep into the world of TikTok to expose scams, scammers, and problematic content to steer clear of. From beggars, scammers, fakers, liars, abusers, and awareness creators that you watch, I'll be here to share it all. I'll be doing it all through showing live streams and adding in comments where appropriate. Be sure to look out for those red flags. So if you want to stay informed on what's really going on in the world of TikTok, then hit that subscribe button and join me on this wild ride. Let's expose the truth together, and reminder, don't send money to anyone on TikTok.
The doctor and that about medication after the surgery. I was honest with him about my anxiety of why I don't trust doctors and hospitals and the files and everything. And so here's where it got weird, and even today, and this is exactly how and why I'm not having surgery. So he and I, after everything, I finally put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Okay, so after I told him the truth about my anxiety and everything, he's like, went back to the subject of the medication. He said he had no problem prescribing, giving me 2 days worth of meds for pain or whatnot and everything. And then I'm like, okay, great. And then he's like, by the way, I need you to do a liquid diet for 24 hours before surgery. I said, why? And he said that the anesthesiologist would cancel the surgery if I had any food. Any solid food. Okay. Weird. Not thinking anything of that, right? Then today I got a phone call. Mind you, the surgery's been scheduled for over a month. I got a phone call today, and they're telling me that they need to reschedule my surgery for Monday because it has to be done at the main hospital. This surgery, they're just going to go through it right there, under the skin, take it out, sew me back up, then it's done. Not even put me under all the way. I said, why? Oh, well, the anesthesiologist isn't comfortable. He's afraid that they won't be able to control your pain after surgery. Mind you, I've got stabbed in the knee with the corner of a metal hood of one of those restaurant fan things before. Okay, when I was scrapping with one of my axes. I've had stitches. It's like, I'm like, are you putting me all the way under? Oh, no. Okay. Why then? Doesn't make any sense. And I said, okay, this doesn't make sense. I had my tubes tied at a surgery place, okay? Then this fucking shit don't make sense to me. I'm like, you need to have the doctor call me. Doctor calls me. He tells me the same bullshit story. You'll hear why in a minute why it's a bullshit story. I'm like, this really doesn't make sense. So I called the pre-op. I give them my information. I tell them what they told me. And the lady I'm on the phone that's on the phone with me, she's like, so-and-so told you that? I said, yeah. And she's like, give us a little bit of time. We'll have somebody call you back. So clearly, that doesn't make sense. They obviously bullshit lie. So then I called the doctor's office back and I talked to the supervisor of the office. I said, this is what I was told, and they told me this. This doesn't make sense. She then tells me that the reason it has to be on Monday at the hospital is because the day surgery is not equipped to do my type of surgery. I'm like, if that was the case, they wouldn't have told me I could have it at the day surgery place. As a matter of fact, that's what they suggested. Oh no, it has to be at the hospital. Yeah, because I refused to have it done on Monday at the hospital. They were insistent on Monday at the hospital. They canceled it entirely, saying that they don't feel comfortable doing my surgery. Let's go back to what I've said at the beginning. The doctor told me on the phone after he found out about my past and the files and then me. That's when he told me I had to have a liquid diet 24 hours before surgery. What do you think happens to someone who were to pass away from surgery if they have only a liquid diet for 24 hours before surgery? It's a lot less mess to clean up and also easier to cover up if it's in the hospital and easier to get the person to the morgue than if they were at the day surgery place across the street. So, I'm going to have the surgery when I know I'm safe to. Because clearly, I am not safe to have the surgery at the moment, this moment in time. People, when they have surgery, they just worry about the little stuff, right? Me, I have to worry about, are they planning on taking me out? That's my dilemma. They're so cowardly that they would wait till I had surgery because that would be the only way. Because if you have surgery, you were very vulnerable and they could take whatever out of your body, correct? Yeah, no. Or put anything into you. No, I'm good. I'm good. Hell, have an IV would be very easy. Air bubbles. Make it look like a heart attack. Or someone, there's several ways they could do it. I've studied criminal justice and criminals and serial unalivers, all that since before I was a teenager, so trust and believe. Yeah. Yeah, so, I'm pretty sure that doctor's part of it. Because that doesn't mean, here's the thing. If I had to have an olive, and I even asked about the whole all liquid diet. I asked if I could have ice cream. He's like, yeah, no problem, just no solids. Uh huh. Now, can you count how many red flags are in that whole thing right there? That liquid diet, but I wasn't told this until, like, if you have to have a liquid diet before surgery, they tell you at the pre op appointment when you go in for the pre op appointment, not over the phone when you're talking to them about what type of medication they're going to give you after surgery to take home, and then you slip up and stupidly tell them why you don't trust doctors and that, and why you forgot about it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, people choose stupidity over logic. right? Frenchie and Auntie. Hmm. Here's the thing. I really don't care what people say about me anymore. I don't. I don't care what people say, think. You want to stream me? You want to live stream me and talk mad shit? Live stream me and talk mad shit. Because it says more about you than it does me. I just don't care. I have more important things to deal with than stupidity. You know? People that have no lives and no talents and no anything, and the only way anybody watches them is when they do what they're doing. Live streaming, talking mad shit. Because they have no personality of their fucking own. Too harsh? Oh, shit. I think I'm at the point now where my give a fuck button has just completely been demolished. I just don't give a fuck. Sometimes, when you have dealt with so much, thank you. Sometimes when you've dealt with so much, you just numb yourself. Lord have mercy. Let's see, where do I begin? I was kidnapped as a child by the granddaughter of the leader of the Illuminati. They called her Grand, or, also Mother Hayden. Kidnapped, trafficked, surrounded them, trying to sacrifice me. I'm in their book. They're terrified. That's the basic gist of it. And I've proved it many times in my memories that I do remember that I've talked about for over the past year and a half, 2 years now, come to find out are in those files. Yes. And then, yeah, it has been confirmed that yes. And at the same time, I have to deal with this stupidity. Nothing new. I'm good. As of right now, I've kind of gotten to a point where I'm numbing myself. You kind of have to shut off your emotions and things like that at times. So things don't become too much for you. And that's what I'm doing at this point in time. I've been on a roller coaster of emotions. I did not know I was in the files until a little over a week ago. And I deal with stupidity. Which is just a rerun that's been going on the past 3 fucking years. Nothing new. I just don't give a fuck anymore. People are gonna say, think, post, whatever they want. Because I fucking can. I'm trying to help you. What do you care? Why do you care? Or is it you want attention? Is that what you're doing? Sugar tits? You might want to scroll on. No, that would be you. Trust and believe. After everything I've dealt with, y'all can't hurt me anymore. Okay? What files do you think? Now let's check out Great Buy there. Yeah, Great Buy date, and then they expire. Like her. I'm hanging in there. Then we have people that are stupidity at its finest that want to start their shit. Oh, and for those who want to call me crazy or I need help or whatever, let's put it this way. I've commented on certain people's videos, like the Illuminati 666, whatever, 16, whatever, telling them I'm going to take them out and everything. They like the fucking comment. Said everything about myself. They like the motherfucking comment. Yes. Just like one of the Rothschilds liked the comment where I stated I'm one of the survivors. They kidnapped and trafficked me. They tried to sacrifice me. It failed. They're terrified of me. I'm apparently in their book. I'd love to know what I am or who I am or whatever. Yeah, one of the Rothschilds like that comment. So, these motherfuckers. Fuck about the wrong one. Well, I only found out about. Never mentioned what before. About me being in files? Oh, I'm sorry, I only found out about a little over a week ago. With people saying that the things I've talked about are in the files. With hearing other survivors talk about the same fucking things I have. So if you want to try, don't play. You got the wrong one. Everything I've talked about over the past 2.5 years is in those goddamn files. The entrances to the tunnels will be in apartments. There will be 2 apartments in a house. One, when you go in the front door of the house, there will be one apartment on the left side. There will be a staircase going up. There will be another apartment. In the room where the tunnel is, there will be toys over here and an area to play in. There will be probably a canopy bed or another child bed at... Really? And I think you're... You know what? It doesn't matter. I don't care what you think. I really fucking don't. I quite fucking honestly don't. I don't care what anybody thinks. Because everything I've said has been proven to be accurate. So. And everything I've said exactly the same. So I suggest go get a life. Go get a personality. Might give a fuck about Nat this point is broke. I don't give a fuck. If you believe me or not. And that's the problem with this whole thing. People like you don't want to believe the survivors and that. You want to think we just make everything up and you will support the perpetrators. You will support the perpetrators. Oh, darling, I have recordings of phone conversations between me and FBI, me and police, and me and Missing and Exploited Children's Unit. I recorded them months ago. They will not help me. But that would take common sense for you to understand that. And maybe why. But then again, you would have to have a brain. I'm sorry, did you know that they haven't even found all the survivors yet? Did you know that? Probably not. Did you know that they've only released 50% of the files? Probably not. You want to run your motherfucking mouth, right? How about this? Why don't you come say what you're saying on here? Come talk to me face to face, and then we'll talk, okay? Alright? Because I really don't give a fuck about your goddamn opinion. No, you're just annoying as fuck, is what you are. You're doing what others have for the past 3 motherfucking years. Don't motherfucking work. You're a mod now, by the way, Heidi. Do your thing. I can't deal with stupidity. No, yeah. When people don't... This is the fucking problem with society. Motherfuckers like that will do everything they can to push doubt, to make... I've been elevated. I'm really pissed off right now. They will do everything to cast doubt on a survivor. And they will support the perpetrators. That's the problem. Telling a survivor of anything that you're making it up. I don't believe the number of bullshit things that have been said. Is utterly fucking pathetic and disgusting. But that's one that will go support GRB, who is not a survivor, even had her mama fooled. And then unalived her mama. Okay? And I don't give a fuck who truth underscore whatever underscore OG is. I know they were live streaming and talk mad shit. I don't give a fuck. I've had enough DMs from people letting me know this. I don't care. I really don't. I don't give a fuck anymore. I fucking don't. Anybody else gonna say bullshit to say to me? Say it the fuck now. But you know what's funny as fuck? How long ago did I say that everyone who was fake as fuck and fake supporters and that would start exposing themselves? The prediction I made, right? And ta-da! It's been going on. No, actually, you know what? I'm glad that they're exposing themselves. At least it gets rid of the cockroaches. It gets rid of the fucking cockroaches. I just don't give a fuck anymore. After today and everything, I don't give a fuck. Let me put it into perspective. I fucked up by letting the doctor know, the surgeon know, about the past me and the file, all that. After that, he told me that I needed to have the liquid diet for 24 hours before surgery. Very minor surgery. Then today, I get a phone call telling me that I have to have the surgery on Monday at the hospital. First, they tell me it's because the anesthesiologist is worried that they won't be able to control my pain afterwards. I'm not even being unconscious. Twilight stage. The second bullshit excuse was the day surgery place isn't equipped to do the surgery like I need done to do my surgery. So you're telling me that they don't have the equipment to hook me up to the monitors and that, give me anesthesia. They don't have the scalpels to do the surgery, and then the gloves and the instruments to need it, and then the things to sew me up. They don't have any of that, right? They don't have that. Called the pre-op. I told them what they said about the anesthesiologist. They looked my information up. They're like, so-and-so said that to you? Like, yeah. We'll call you back. Hold on. We'll get back to you. Because I refused to do the surgery on Monday at the hospital. They don't feel comfortable doing the surgery at all. Do you understand yet? You get it? Do you understand what the plan, like... Do you know what kind of people are in this fucked up cult? It's not just the goddamn elites. It's lawyers, doctors, you name it, all walks of motherfucking life. Thank you. Yeah. I will eventually have the surgery. I just don't know when or where yet, but it's going to be once I know I'm safe to have it. That I'm not going to have to worry about someone trying to take me out at the same time. Never in my fucking life did I ever think that I would have to worry about being... It's a basic, simple procedure. I have a gastric stimulator because I was misdiagnosed with gastroparesis. So they need to remove it. However, it's a very basic procedure. They go in, take it out, sew me back up, go right under the skin. It's like a little pocket, that's why it sticks out. It's right under the skin. And the anesthesiologist is worried about not being able to control my pain after that. I got stabbed in the knee one time with a metal, you know those restaurant, like at fast food places, the vent things on top, the corner part? Yeah. I got stabbed in the kneecap, by one of those. Ended up having to go to the hospital, had stitches. I'm pretty sure it would probably be the same amount of pain. You know. And the fact that he told me he needed me to do a liquid diet for 24 hours before surgery after I told him about So yeah. That's the thing. That's what I have to worry about when I go to doctors, and if when I have to have surgeries now. Am I gonna survive? Are they trustworthy? Can I trust them? Are they part of that shit? You know what I mean? But people want to run their goddamn mouths and everything else. I got more important things to worry about than what people fucking say, think, and do. Say whatever the fuck you want about me, post me, live stream me, I don't give a fuck. I got more important things to worry about. Like living, like staying alive, you know. But hey. But that would take these motherfuckers to have brain cells and common motherfucking sense. I'm just, you know. So that's what I deal with. That's what I'm dealing with now. So wonderful. So there's that. You know. Ugh. Lord have mercy. I just don't care anymore, you know? It is what it is. People say they can do whatever the fuck they want. I don't fucking care. I'll be alright. I'll be alright. I just have more important things to worry about than motherfuckers running their goddamn yappers. You know, worrying, making sure I stay alive. That's more important. Tell me you've never had surgery without telling me you've never had surgery, because I have. I've had plenty of surgeries, darling. The only time that the whole you can't eat for 24 hours, it has to be a liquid diet, that's when you have a colonoscopy and a scope. But most likely just a colonoscopy. Well, I've had many more. I've had I've had 2 partial hysterectomies. I've had my tubes tied. So on and so forth. I've had laparoscopies. You got the wrong one. And if that was the case, it would have told me at the pre-op appointment, not over the phone, when I was talking to him about medications and that for after surgery. And he would have mentioned, don't you think he would have mentioned it at some point before I said what I said? Yeah, let's be stupid. Stupidity at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the shit ain't gonna work, right? This surgery's been scheduled for over a month. And never once did they say I had to have a liquid diet until after I said what I said to the doctor. I had the pre-op surgery, or the pre-op appointment. I went in, had the pre-op appointment, went over everything. I have the notes of what I needed to do. No eating or drinking anything after midnight. I would be able to have a sip. I would be able to take my medication with a sip of water that morning. I have the paperwork. He said that the reason I needed to do the liquid diet was because the anesthesiologist would have canceled the surgery if I didn't. But then said I could have ice cream. That was the surgeon on the phone. I went for yeah. I asked when he said that I needed to have the liquid diet. I asked him, "Can I have ice cream?" He said yes, just nothing solid. And that was the surgeon. Yes, I know. Yeah, I know why they wanted to change it. I know why they wanted me to do the liquid diet. I'm not stupid. I know what they were planning on doing. That's why they were changing it to the hospital. Yeah. All the surgery is to go through the skin, take the gastric stimulator out, and sew me up. That's the surgery. Yeah. What happens when someone goes in for surgery? Say they don't have any solids, but just liquids the day before, right? What happens if they were to pass away? You know how people pass away, their bowels give whatever. If you have a liquid diet for 24 hours before surgery, um, wouldn't that be a hell of a lot less mess to clean up? What's going on? Oh, just telling everybody, yeah, my basically, my surgery's been canceled, uh, due to the fact that my surgeon was most likely going to try and unalive me. Do you know what it's like to coming to terms with the fact that they're so desperate that they will even do it while I'm having surgery? I know, right? They must only take out splinters. Yeah. I'm I gotta come to terms with the fact that these motherfuckers are so desperate that they will the only way to take me out is surgery? Is during surgery. That's what we're doing. It's the only way they can take me out is during surgery. How fucking pathetic. Isn't it? I know, so sketchy. It's so pathetic. I mean, when it comes to facing me, they lock themselves in buildings and call police. But they'll wait till I'm at my most vulnerable and unconscious or being sedated. Where I'm at my most vulnerable and God only knows what they were going to do. It's a very long story. I was supposed to have surgery on Friday, and I slipped up and told the surgeon last week when I was talking to him on the phone about medications because they wanted to see. I thought the surgery was going to be major like it was the last time when they would take out the thing, replacing it or whatever, so I know how much pain that it causes. But so we were having a disagreement, about medication. And so he called me, we were on the phone and talking, and when he said he had no problem prescribing for a couple of days, I'm like, okay, great. And then I stupidly told him why I have issues with hospitals and doctors and things. And I said the files, and he's like, you're in those files. He's like, yeah, according to what I've been told, that the things I've talked about, yeah. He's like, oh bloody hell. Oh bloody hell. And then then he switches it up, says, I'm so sorry, and then he goes back to, I have no problem. Just remind me that day about, hey doc, said no problem, you said you do it for a couple days. No problem, right? Oh, by the way, I need you to do a liquid diet the day before. No solid food. Because the anesthesiologist will cancel the surgery if you do. Okay, can I have ice cream? Yeah, just no solid food. Then today I get a call saying that they need to reschedule for Monday at the hospital, which is right across the street from the day surgery place. I said, no. Why? Oh, well, the anesthesiologist is worried that they won't be able to control your pain after surgery. You need to have the doctor call me because we've never been on the same page. This is me and the nurse practitioner on the phone. Like we've never been on the same page. You need to have the doctor call me. Doctor calls me, tells me the same thing. I call the hospital, talk to pre-op or pre-op. They look my up. They can I told them what I was told. Let me have your information. I give them my information. They look it up and they're like, so and so told you that? Very confused. I was like, yeah. They're like, what if somebody call you back? I was like, is it going to be today? Next 24 hours. Okay. So I called the surgeon's office back. I talked to the supervisor. The supervisor didn't tell me because I told her I talked to the pre-op. She tells me that it's because the day surgery center is not equipped to do the surgery that I need done, or to do the type of surgery I'm having. You're telling me that the day surgery place, so so they don't have the tools to do regular surgery. Sedate you into twilight session where you're not even sedated all the way. You're not passed out at all. You're awake still. They don't have that equipment, I guess. They don't have the equipment for the IV, I guess. Or is it they don't have the bed for me to lay on while they do the surgery? Is it they don't have the surgical, like what do you mean? It's not equipped for the surgery I need when all you're doing is going through the skin, taking it out, and sewing me back up. Why does it need to be done at the hospital if it's that minor? And when I suggested having it done at the hospital before I told the doctor that, they said it didn't need to be done at the hospital. It was that minor, no need to have it done at the hospital. So now you're telling me today, 2 days before I'm supposed to have surgery, that I have to have it done at the hospital on Monday. Very persistent on Monday for some reason. Now take everything that I just said into consideration, and you tell me what you think they were planning on doing. And then covering it up. I never thought I had to worry about whether or not, if I have surgery, is the doctor going to try and take. Never in my wildest imagination would I have ever thought that. And now I'm coming to terms with that, yes. Absolutely. I know, but unfortunately I do. So now I have to wait to have the surgery till I know I'm safe to have it. Lord have mercy. Well, I guess Heather decided to pop back up. Or it's Linda wanted to, I don't give a fuck. It's absolutely disgusting and exhausting to deal with the nonsense and stupid shit. The stimulator was for it. Well, from what the company said when I told them I was misdiagnosed and that I don't have gastroparesis, they said I needed to have it removed immediately because it will have negative effects on my health. And so that was months ago, and so it's still there. It hurts at times because it sticks out because it's like right under the skin in a pocket kind of thing. But yeah, at times it does. I'll be alright. I'm always okay. I mean, that mama bear, she must really want to go to prison, huh? Because it's only two people that I can think of that person was, and that's either Heather Enderton or Linda. Give it time, they'll be back. They're always back. They always come back. No, that's too close to Oklahoma, thank you. Let me put it to you this way. There's only one person in this entire world I trust. And that's Frankie. Because I know he would never hurt me. And he would never let anybody else hurt me either. And I've dealt with a lot of bullshit. And that family, because I know, like Linda, I'm sure that was her. She should focus on getting a good defense attorney, don't you think? Because she's gonna need one. I hear that train coming. It's coming around the bend. The bitches ain't gonna see the sunshine ever again. The motherfuckers are gonna be stuck in fucking prison for the rest of their days. When they hear that train coming, they're gonna have to bow their head and pray. You know, after all this time, I just don't care anymore what people say, think, or do. But I was looking about the birth date and the birth time that they gave me, because I don't think that's any child's birth date. I think that was a specific reason why they gave me that birth date. I looked it up. It's another binding thing. Both. Let's see if I can look it up again. Why are the numbers 11, 23, and 32 important to the occult and the Masons? Says the number 11, 23, and 32 are considered significant with the various occult, Stoic, and Masonic traditions, often symbolizing specific stages of spiritual development, energetic patterns, or organizational structures. While some of these numbers hold a deep that deep traditional meaning. Others are interpreted through modern occultism and pop culture, including 23 Enigma. 11. The Master Number, Spiritual Portal. Numerology and the Occult. In numerology, 11 is a master number associated with spiritual intuition, enlightenment, and heightened consciousness. It is often viewed as a portal connecting the physical and spiritual realms. Well, I think the number 11, November, I think that had to do with because I think that's when they took me, November. That's why they did the birthday November. However, 23. The Enigma 23, Law of 5. This is the belief that all events and incidents are directly or indirectly connected to the number 23, popularized by William S. Burroughs as the Illuminati something trilogy, whereas 2 plus 3 is 5. The occult and whatever. It is considered sacred by Discordians and is also regarded as a number that is simultaneously lucky, unlucky, or strange. Numerology 23 is considered the royal star of the lion. And some numerologic, I can't even say it. I don't care either. Circles promising protection and success from superiors. What? 32. Scottish Rites, Sublime Prince. Scottish Rites Freemasonry. This is a key number in the Scottish Rites and a pendant body of Freemasonry, which confers degrees from the 4th to the 32nd. A 32nd degree Mason, Sublime Prince of the Royal Secret, has completed the 29 degrees of the consistory. Symbolization of 32. The 32nd degree teaches that the royal secret is divine love, or synthesizes the opposites, the sun, moon, and represents the triumph of spiritual consciousness over material constraints. Whatever. 32nd degree is seen as graduate course in Masonic philosophy, summarizing previous degrees. 11 means spiritual awakening, but that could be because I was taken in November. 23 is synchronicities, chaos, and the 23 Enigma. 32 is the university degree in Scottish Rites Masonry, representing the synthesis, whatever, of knowledge of spiritual, yada yada yada. Could Howard have been a 32nd degree Mason? I don't know. But I know it means something. Because the birthday 1130 or 1123 and the time of birth 1132. That it's just they flipped the number. It's weird. It's fucking frustrating too, but I'll be alright. Shit. Some things, sometimes. It is what it is. In the end, everything will be revealed. The truth will be revealed about everything. And all of them will pay for everything they've done. So, you know what's so interesting to me? There is 68 people in here now. That's interesting because somebody just left 67. Interesting. How is everyone? Say hello. We like to interact. I say we, I mean me and, people that are on here usually. Several. Not always, but several of them do. How is everyone? I don't bite. It's okay to, talk. Hello. Hi. See, it's not easy. Just say hello. How y'all doing? Hello? How are ya? How you doing? You know? Hello. How is everyone? I hope everyone has had a wonderful day. Welcome in. Hello. Papa Squad, have a good time. Don't need nothing but a good time. How can I resist? Ain't looking for nothing but a good time. And it don't get better than this. I don't always talk about this. A lot of times I'll just play music and sing too. Sometimes I do that because I need to do that because it makes it, have a good unwinding night. Too much drama and shit, right? It's always good to have fun and chillax and shit. It is, it is. Little song, little dance, little Batman Santa Lance. Not just joking. What's going on with me? What's going on with you? Well, same shit, different day with me. What's going on with you? How's it going? How you doing? Well, damn. Alright. What do you do? What type of work you do? See, Val, she does, coroner's office? Yeah. What do you do? There's another one on here. She works for a surgical office. Damn, everybody works medical. And here I don't trust medical at all. I don't. Well, when they plan on unaliving me, there would be a reason. Shit. And I can't do nothing but laugh because what the fuck? Fuck it is what it is. Shit. Do I want the surgery? Yes. Very much so. But I gotta consider what's more important. me having the surgery and risking not waking up or whatever they're planning, or just skipping the surgery and wait till I'm safe to have it. I think I'll skip it and stay alive. Thank you. That's just completely insane. That whole thing. Yeah, you think you're gonna have surgery and it would be safe to have it, and then shit. Nope. Never had problems with anesthesia. Had many surgeries. They've asked me. No, I don't have problems with anesthesia. They didn't even tell me anything about needing to do a liquid diet until after I slipped up and told the surgeon something on the phone about my past and those files. Then he said I needed to do a. Oh no no no! You don't understand. It's not. I'm not worried about waking up from anesthesia. I'm worried about the doctor taking my life. See, anesthesia is my last problem right now. Oh, okay. Well, did you ever tell the patient that they had to have a liquid diet after they told you that they're in the files? That if they didn't have a liquid diet for 24 hours before surgery, that the anesthesiologist was going to cancel the surgery, but you didn't tell them at the pre-op appointment. No, you waited until they had you on the phone, and they're talking to you about medication, and you agree, yeah, come, it's no problem, just remind me, oh, by the way, you need to do a liquid diet. You need to do a liquid diet. Oh, Lord have mercy, I'm not going to keep repeating it. Go look on YouTube, look up Heather McCord. There's over 200 videos on there that have been recorded of my life, so it'll tell you everything. Yeah. And then you can believe whatever you want. Short version, I was kidnapped and trafficked as a child by the leaders the leader of the cult's granddaughter. And then I was trafficked. They called the woman Grandma and Mother Hayden, and I called her Great Grandma. Lord have mercy, I'm so glad you're so foolish. Yeah, I know. No, I don't think that actually I thought they were being mean, but I think they were actually being legit. Yeah, they were agreeing that that's shady as fuck. You can unmute them. See if they, then we'll see what they say. I'm a little elevated plus pissed off. It doesn't mix well. It has nothing on my paperwork about needing to do liquid diet. They even told me on my paperwork that I could take my medication that morning with a small sip of water or whatever. So why all of a sudden, and he also said, I said, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm elevated and there have been assholes on here. I apologize. I'm also irritated and pissed. I'm, Plus, I asked him when he told me I needed to do the liquid diet. I was like, oh, okay, can I have ice cream? Yeah, no problem, just nothing solid. Just to basic. Okay, I was misdiagnosed with gastroparesis 10 years ago, so I have a stimulator I don't need. So all they have to do is go in where it, go through where the incision was before, right through just the skin, take the stimulator out, and sew me back up. That's the surgery. It was supposed to be Friday at the day surgery place. He told me after I slipped up and told him about the files and that's when he told me I needed to do the liquid diet, otherwise the anesthesiologist would cancel surgery. And then today, I get a phone call saying that they needed to reschedule the surgery for Monday at at the actual hospital because the anesthesiologist was afraid they wouldn't be able to manage my pain afterwards. What? I'm like, are you putting me under? No, and mind you, I they said it didn't need to be at the main hospital. This is a basic surgery, not a. It's a very very minor surgery. I'd even be able to go to the gym 2 days later. Is what he said. So, tell me, why all of a sudden is this anesthesiologist by also it wasn't in the file, and when I called the pre-op, they looked it up. They were confused as to why the doctor and the nurse practitioner would tell me this. And then after I told the supervisor that I called the pre-op, and they were confused, she then tells me that the day surgery place is not equipped to handle the surgery I need done. What the fuck surgery are you doing then? What do you think you're going to do? What type of surgery are you doing on me or planning on doing on me when you're just supposed to be taking out a stimulator? You're not even cutting through muscle. What are you talking about? Huh? Yeah, no. Here's what I figured out. Now, let's pretend. Let's pretend someone goes in for. Let's pretend I had agreed to do this, okay? Let's pretend I had agreed to do this, okay? That I agreed to do this. Okay. I want you to pretend. Think about this. After I was stupid and let the doctor know about my past, he tells me I need to do a liquid diet for 24 hours before surgery. No solids, but I can have ice cream. They change it from the day surgery place that is right across the street from the hospital to the actual hospital because they're afraid that they won't be able to manage my pain. But yet I suggested having it done at the hospital before, and they said it didn't. No, because it didn't need to be done at the hospital. Also, nowhere in my paperwork does it say I need to do a liquid diet. How much easier do you... Okay, we have the day surgery that's right across the street from the hospital, okay? Think of where the morgue is located. Think of which place would it be easier to get a person to the morgue. Without any questions. Because there's no emergency contact. No nada. And it's a lot less mess to clean up if the person has only had a liquid diet for 24 hours. Well, there's too many red flags. So and the what I already know. I would love to, because they were hell bent on having it at the hospital on Monday, and when I refused to do it on Monday at the hospital, they said they don't feel comfortable doing my surgery. I know people believe the best in doctors and everything, right? But my history, I know what. No. At one time, I was prescribed 30 different prescriptions, medication I never needed, taking about 100 pills a day, sleeping 23 out of 24 hours a day. Oh, okay, so you tell me. They're part of the Illuminati, right? The Masons, Eastern Star Knights, and Templar Scottish Rites. You don't think they'll get off. These people run the world, and you don't think they'll get off. I am on muscle relaxers and Keppra. And then, supplements that are not prescribed. I don't like taking prescription medication. I don't need it. And you look like you need to go to prison. Okay? So, let me make myself abundantly clear. I've taken psych evaluations. There is nothing mentally wrong with me except CPTSD. These morons are the same ones that will celebrate someone that unalives their mother, and they will celebrate a serial unaliver, and perpetrators that do horrific things to children, and they will blame the victims or try and pass out on the survivors and everything else. They're disgusting human beings, and like calling him is a stretch. Because when you try and cast doubt on survivors and you want to victim blame and all that and try and make a survivor look crazy and shit, you're just as bad as them. You're no better than those monsters when you do that. And I will die on that motherfucking hill. Know what I mean, Jellybean? So, until the further notice, surgery is off. And I'm not sure when I'll be having it. It'll happen when it happens, and it ain't gonna happen till I know I'm safe to have it. I'm seeing a new doctor on Tuesday. My new doctor. Because I called to see about getting in earlier, and I told the person I talked to about what happened with the surgeon and everything, and they thought that was so fucking weird. They're like, that there's something seriously wrong. That's not, something is very off. It was very suspicious to them too. So, Here's what I know. In order for me to have the surgery safely, don't say a fucking word to them about any of it. Right? And when they called me, were telling me that, something kept telling me, fight it. Don't agree. Something in my stomach, in my gut, told me, don't do it. Don't agree to it. Don't do it. I told them I was having it Friday. No offense, buds. You're not having it Friday. You're not, bitch. Shut the fuck up. I'm having, you know, that fucking supervisor. If she was one, she acted like she was one of those bullies in high school. You know, the popular girls that talk down to everybody, think they're better than everybody, and then they mentally stay in high school. And they get one of those careers like this supervisor has, like they can say talk however they want to people. Patients, you don't talk like that to patients. You're not going to talk like that to me. You're not going to fucking disrespect me. These motherfuckers can kiss my grits, okay? Oh, shit. And I'm tired, which is normal. The reason I say it's normal is because when I get stressed out, upset, pissed off, all that shit, I get really exhausted very quickly. Other than on the phone almost all day with a bunch of fucking goddamn morons at the surgeon's office. Yeah, that was so much fun. I didn't really do anything. I'm exhausted because, you know, I need a vacation. That's what I fucking need. I need to get away from here for at least a day or two. I think I'm going to. Not sure yet, but I think it would do. It might do me some good. I might. Maybe I will. Why the fuck not? TV dinners. I had the Dolly Parton chicken fried steak meal. It is not worth the amount that it costs. Let's put it that way. It's okay. It's better than Banquet, but it's not worth no fucking $8. The only reason I ordered them was because I thought it was just chicken fried steak. I didn't know it was the actual TV dinner shit. It just, Jesus Christ. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just, for that price, it should taste better. Also, don't get the Stouffer's chicken enchiladas either. That is nasty shit. Never again. I did get through the 2 I had last night. I'm never eating them again. Fuck that shit. And I still have like 6 left. Fuck that. No. Bye, bye, bye. I'm good. It was at first. But then, when at first you think something tastes alright, it tastes good, and then after a few more bites, it just don't taste right, and by the end of it, you want to upchuck. I would love Jack in the Box tacos. I would, trust me. But no, these fuckers would don't get the Stouffer's chicken enchiladas, okay? Like no. Also, I didn't read on the box they had beans. They're like white beans. It's just, no, don't. When you go to eat something, right, you've never had it before. So you're like, yeah, it sounds good, it looks good. Of course, it looks good on the box. Don't look that good when you make it. But you make it, right? You try it, and at first it tastes alright. You're like, yeah, it's alright, it's good. And after the fifth or sixth bite, you realize, what the fuck am I doing? This is terrible. Why did I do this? But you keep doing it because you're stupid and you don't want to waste food. But by the time the last bite you take, you can't swallow it. You spit it out because you can't do it. And then all you want to do is brush your teeth and get the fucking taste out of your goddamn mouth of that goddamn chicken fucking enchilada. I swear to Christ, do not get those fucking things. Absolutely not. Fucking nasty shit. I don't believe in wasting, but goddamn it, I'm sorry, I'm not. I can't eat those. Fuck that shit. Jesus Christ, no. No. Yeah. But, so they fixed my weekly grocery delivery thing, and we changed it to pre-made meals. So I have the menu, and the guy calls me every week now to place the order for the following week. So that's nice. So my food stamps could go for other things. I get the pre-made meals, and then I'll buy other stuff with my food stamps. Yeah, I know, right? I'll tell you what, these pre-made meals actually taste better than the ones you buy at the store. Sometimes they do, Other times, no. One I had was eggplant parmesan. Fuck that shit. I took one bite and it was like, fuck this. What the fuck was I thinking? So, yeah, no. But, they're not bad, but, at least then I don't really have to cook, if I don't feel like it. They even have breakfast ones. So, you get 21 meals a week. And so I went through the menu and told them what I wanted. And we switched the milk because, what sucks is with the diverticulitis and that, I can't have whole milk, but I have a vitamin D deficiency. So it's like I'm supposed to have that. Lord have mercy. So, so I buy almond milk, but they give me skim milk to, it works out. And that way, when I cook, I use the milk that I get from them, and I use the almond milk for like my tea and cereal and that, because I get the sweet and vanilla almond milk. I might try the chocolate one this time, too. Not for tea, but to just drink, Yeah, I put my. Yes, that's the proper way to make it. That's how you make a proper cup of tea. You take the kettle, you boil it on the stove. Not put it in the. Don't put the shit in the microwave. That's the wrong way. You boil. You boil the kettle on the stove, right, or an electric kettle. And then while you're waiting for the kettle, you take the tea bag, you put the tea bag in the cup. You take the sweetener, whatever sugar you want, you put it in the cup. Then, after the kettle goes off, you pour the water in the tea. You let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes. Then you remove it. Do not squeeze the tea bag, just put it out, let it drip, get it under the spoon, take it, place it down. And then you put some milk in it and you mix it. It's really good. You know, when you squeeze the tea bag, that's what makes the tea bitter. Iced tea, the way I make iced tea, I do it similar. I will place 5 tea bags in a pan and I boil the tea in the kettle, or the water in the kettle after the water is boiled, ready to go. I take and pour all the water out of the kettle into the pan with the tea bags. I let them sit for about 5 minutes, and then I gently take the tea bags out, throw the tea bags away, and then after it cools for a few minutes, I pour it in the gallon jug. Sometimes I add a cup of sugar, other times I'll just do sweetener instead. You know. And then you fill it with the rest away with cold water. You mix it, you put it in the fridge. It's really good. And not bitter whatsoever. Yes. You know, it was weird when coming here. Nobody makes tea. Nobody actually makes iced tea. They all buy it. It's like, because I asked her when she was here that day. She asked for some drink. I said, I have iced tea. She's like, what kind? And I brought over the jug. She's like, oh, you have real tea. I was like, yeah? Yeah, they all, like, somebody offered me iced tea one time, and I was like, yeah, I love tea. I love iced tea. Fuck that shit. It was the fucking, in a bottle. What the fuck are y'all doing? That's nasty shit. Nasty shit. Nasty shit. Don't buy the tea in the bottles. That's actually so disgusting. And I don't know, it's like to me, bottled tea that you get at the store tastes bitter and I don't know, it just tastes funky to me. It just, no thank you. 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 I'm good. I'm good. I'll make my tea, thank you. Thank you very much. I already saw that. I will never use a Keurig again from a hotel. Fuck that shit. Also, don't use the glasses that are in hotels. I don't care how fancy the hotel is. If they have glass glasses in the bathroom, do not use them. They do not clean them, they just wipe them out. I know because I used to work as a housekeeper. Just like if the bed looks like it has not been slept in, they will not change the sheets. So you could check into a hotel room and it looked like nobody slept in the bed. It looked like somebody made the bed and then changed sheets. If it looks like the bed has not been slept in or that the sheets are clean, in some places they will not change the sheets. I refuse to be like that. That's why I was always the last one done, because I was always making sure that all the beds all the sheets are changed on both beds. I don't care if it looks like the other bed was slept in or not. I'm going to change the sheets. I change those sheets. I don't give a fuck. Whether the bed looks like, when I was housekeeping, whether the bed looked like it was slept in or not, if it was a double room, had 2 beds, I'm doing both beds. I took off all the bedding. I would take off both beds. I would get clean sheets, put them on, and that's why I was always done last. Because I always wanted to make sure that, I'm the one that I was the one that always made sure every room that I would have, the sheets were always changed on all the beds, and I did make sure that the glasses in the rooms I had were all cleaned. Because I'm the type that if I don't want to come to a hotel that with dirty glasses and dirty sheets, why would I want any? Like, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. You know? Don't do that shit. With all the infections and shit that people could get, what the fuck is wrong with you people? God damn it. Switch out the goddamn glasses. It's not that hard to fucking wash. The thing is, the housekeepers are supposed to switch them out. They do they will go the cheapest route, the laziest route you can imagine. That's what they do. That's why I was late. That's why I was always last getting done. I'm the housekeeper that always made sure everything was perfect and everything was clean and in order. Not where I worked. I worked at the Hilton Garden Inn and like the DoubleTree Inn. You know, I worked at the actual higher end hotels. I didn't work at like the motels. I worked at the higher end hotels, and yes, I made sure all the bedding was changed, all the glasses were clean, were actually clean, and everything else. And these other ones did not. I'm like, what the? And I'm like, okay, that's on you. I'm not doing no. I'm doing it the correct, proper way. I wouldn't want to stay at a hotel where the glasses were just wiped out and like the fucking sheets not changed because they thought that, oh, they look clean. No, fuck you. You change the fucking sheets. I don't care if it looks like the bed had been sleeping or not. You fucking change them. Especially people paying good money to stay in these places. What the fuck are you doing? Because you want to be lazy and barely do whatever, just to barely pass, right? No, fuck that shit. No matter what job I ever had, I always took pride in and always did the whatever I gave it up my all. Whether it be construction, cleanup, housekeeping, house painter, uh, security, walking through landfill, picking up trash, I always worked my ass off. Retail, I ran a fucking store by myself shortly after starting there. And I got taken advantage of by the boss because she took advantage of my kindness. I worked 14 days straight and she made me volunteer for some of those days to where I wouldn't be paid overtime. Janitorial. I worked for Landon and Ralph and I never got paid, and I cleaned the bathrooms at a dental denture place. Piss, blood, vomit, you name it, and I was cleaning it up and they didn't pay me. But I did it because I'm a hard worker and I believe that when things need to be done, you get them done. And moving forward, yeah. It's just how I am, I guess. Even fast food. And then the time I was a cook at a nursing home. Some of the residents wouldn't even, like, they could barely get them to eat anything unless I was cooking. Then when I was cooking, some of them would ask for seconds, and those were the residents that didn't eat usually. Everybody loved my cooking at the nursing home. I'm a Jill of all trades. I never worked at Dairy Queen. I worked at Arby's. I worked at Good Times Burgers. I worked at Taco John's. Arby's, Good Times, Taco John's, Burger King. Yeah. And then when I was in high school at Fort Collins High, they didn't have regular cafeteria lunch. We had restaurants. We had Taco John's, McDonald's, a pizza place, and something else. I can't remember what else it was. And then like a Jamba Juice. That was our choices for lunch in the cafeteria. Yeah. So for 1 hour a day, I would work at the I worked at the Taco John's breakfast and 1 period a day in the afternoon too. And then there would be another period of the day that I would go and help take care of the kids like that had cerebral palsy and things like that. And I started doing that in junior high. And the first kid I took care of that had cerebral palsy and a lot of other issues. His name was Timothy Weaver. He was a good kid. He was blind and had a lot of other issues. They didn't think he would survive past a year or 2 years old. He lived to be in his 20s, I believe. But he did pass away finally. But yeah, even after school and that, sometimes I'd go see him at his house and spend some time with him and that kind of thing. It's how I've always been. I'm a very different type of person. I'm always taking care of others while having to deal with what I had to deal with. And the bullying and shit that I endure on here is the same shit I had to deal with that family and others. So the shit doesn't, I don't fucking care. I've dealt with it my whole fucking life. It's bullshit. And that's why I call it schoolyard bullying, because it doesn't make a fucking bit of difference. They're miserable with their own existence and like to project themselves onto others. They hurt so they fucking somehow get some sort of pleasure in hurting others. But later on, after the joy goes away for them for hurting somebody, which I don't understand how you get joy out of that at all, then they start hurting more than they did before. So then they start bullying others, and then it's just a cycle, and they don't realize the reason that it hurts them more later on is because they're hurting others. And subconsciously, without them realizing it does affect them in a negative way. Does that make sense? I do too. I ran out of tea, damn it. So many people wonder what the meaning of life is and why we're here and everything else. Do you want to know the truth? It's very simple. The reason we're here, the meaning of life, is to learn compassion and basic human decency, empathy, that kind of thing. That's all it is. Acceptance. It's very simple. People wonder what it takes to get into heaven. Be a decent human being, don't hurt others. That's all it takes. Be Christ-like. Don't go to church. Be fake as fuck because you think you're gonna get into heaven because you go to church, a building, once or twice a week, to what? Show that you go to church and that you think you're gonna get into heaven because you go to that building. What are you doing the rest of the week? How do you live your life? How do you treat others? How do you treat others that are less fortunate than you? Do you go on fake accounts bullying people? You ain't getting into heaven. You go to church every week or twice a week, whatever. You confess your sins, you repent, whatever. You sing songs, you listen to the preacher, whatever. And halfway through, you're either falling asleep or looking at your phone or looking at your watch to find out how much time you have left before you can leave and go watch the game or go do whatever you're gonna fucking do afterwards. Because you get bored sitting at church, but you think you need to go to church because that'll get you into heaven. About right? But yet you look down on others and you treat people like shit and you think you're better than others. You hate people based on their color of their skin or whatever bullshit reason. Basically for no reason. You failed the test. They got Yahweh, whatever. They ain't gonna care if you went to that fucking church or not. Shit. What really matters is how you were as a human being. What did you help others? Were you a decent human being? Did you have empathy, compassion, morals, that kind of thing? Did you treat others the way you wanted to be treated? Are you supporting the fact that families are being torn apart and thrown into these places and they're being treated worse than animals? You're in support of that? You're not getting into fucking heaven, motherfuckers. You're racist. You're hateful. You commit violence by an act. You hurt innocent people. You are not getting into heaven, motherfuckers. You're not. Just because you go to a building and listen to a preacher and everything else does not mean you're getting into heaven. It's very simple what you have to do to get into heaven or whatever it is afterlife that you want to have, right? It's very fucking simple. It's so fucking simple, and I don't know why people are so confused and asking, what do we need to do to be able to get into heaven? I don't understand. How the fuck do you not understand? Kindness, compassion, empathy, human decency, peace, love one another, acceptance, what the fuck? It's not that fucking hard. Treat people the way you want to fucking be treated. Don't talk negatively about others. Don't bully others. It's so easy for everyone. And the answer is so simple. But people think that everything has to be so complicated, and it doesn't. What's the purpose of life? Enjoying it. Being happy. Having peace. Not war, not hate, not violence, not racism, not the bad shit. Not corruption. Not greed. Not jealousy, not envy. None of those shit fucking is gonna, none of that shit. Hello. It's so simple. Be a decent human being. That's all it is. That's all you gotta do is be a decent human being. You don't have to fucking go to fucking church and shit. God don't care if you go to... Yahweh don't care if you go to a fucking church. It's a fucking building. We're conditioned to believe we have to go to church and all this shit in order to get into heaven. That's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard. It's like people that convince us that we need to go to church to get into heaven are the same people that are violating innocent children and innocent people and hurting innocent people. And people are listening to these morons. Those same ones that are promoting hate and violence and racism and everything else are the same ones that are telling you you have to go to church in order to get into heaven. I'm telling you, you don't have to go to church. You don't have to go to a fucking building. Stop giving your money to these motherfuckers because they're pocketing it. Let's go with that too. They're stealing from everyone. They're not helping anyone but them fucking selves. You want to know where the Illuminati gets all their money? All the people that go to church and give their money to the churches, that's where all their money comes from. What makes people believe that God would ever want them to, in order for you to get into heaven, you have to give the church this amount of money that you choose, that whatever church you go to, you gotta give this amount of money to the church in order to get into heaven. Well, hell, I got land in Florida, or I got land on Mars I could give you if you believe that. Religion. Greed. I mean, I've seen preachers and that, the videos posted about preachers that buying new cars saying, if it wasn't for the congregation, I wouldn't be able to own this. It's just mine. I'm going to be celebrating. Basically, fuck you, but thank you for giving me your money so I could buy this new car. They look down on people. When you go to church, you have to wear a specific, you have to dress a certain way. Why? Who made up these fucking rules? Think about it. The same people that made up these rules are the same people that fucking doing the nastiest, fucking most vilest shit to innocent people. I don't know how people haven't figured that out yet. The most powerful cult in the world that runs the world, right? Why are they so powerful? Think about it. Why are they so powerful? You wanna know why? Because everybody gave them that power. They have all this power because everybody gives them the power. How do you think they take people out? You think they cast some fucking spell and the person just gets unalived? No. They have lapdogs do it. Henchmen, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The most powerful cult in the world, I can guarantee you. With all the people terrified of these people, it's because you're conditioned to be terrified of them. That's why. They don't have any fucking special magical fucking powers. They're all off their goddamn rockers and greedy as fuck. I have more powers in my pinky nail than they do all combined in their entire bodies combined, okay? It's a fucking illusion. It's all a fucking goddamn illusion and everybody buys it. There's no... Fear is an illusion. There's nothing magical, mystical about these fucking disgusting monsters. Nothing. But they make you believe there is. To keep you in line, to keep you in fear. The fear tactics, all that shit. Think of the Wizard of Oz, right? Think about this. The Wizard of Oz. Oz was this all-powerful being, right? Who was in control of the whatever the head guy, right? He was in control of Oz, right? Everybody was in fear of him, right? He'd do whatever. He was all powerful, right? But at the end, what did we find out? It was some little dude behind a fucking curtain pulling all the strings, who had no powers whatsoever. It was all an illusion. Just like all the power that they have in the world, and the fear that they put on people, it's all a fucking goddamn illusion. And they think that they're all powerful in that because they're fucking delusional. Do you want? They think they live forever. Do you want to know what really happens to them? They grow old, and they. That's the truth. Unless these med beds do exist, that's the only way they survive and keep going. Other than that, they pass away just like everybody else. And the money, all that money, all of why they're elite, the ones involved, it all started with the churches. People giving their money to the churches. Where do you think all that money goes to? Christianity is a cult, started by the Illuminati. They started it because they wanted evil to take over the world. Yes, evil does exist. But do these people have special powers? Fuck no, they don't. They don't. But evil does exist. But the only power they have is what you fucking give them. Do you realize if everybody came and just stood up together as one force, do you think everybody across the world that's not involved in it, how long do you think it would take for these people to crumble? Because I can guarantee you, there are more of us that are not part of it than there are of the ones that are part of it. We're all conditioned to believe that there's all these people part of it. There's not as many people a part of it as there are. Oh yeah, there are more of us than there are of them. Why do you think they try and shut the survivors up? Especially me. Because I know that there's nothing to be scared of, and they know I know. That's one reason they're scared of me. I don't know if there's anything mystical about me or not. I know I'm like a cat with 10 million lives, and there are certain things that I can do. I do have gifts, and so do others. The other survivors do too. But these motherfuckers don't. That's why they try everything in their power to shut us up, make us look as crazy as possible, and that's why they pay people to do what they're doing. Because they don't have the cojones to do it themselves. Because they know better. So they pay stupid people that just see dollar signs. And they do whatever they can to shut us up, whether it be get us locked away to where we're silenced, or make people get people not to believe us, or get us to ourselves, or, in my case, because I know none of that works, trying to do it when I go to have surgery. Okay? These people have no motherfucking powers. It's all a goddamn illusion. Always has been. Wizard of Oz. Again, the illusion in Oz was the all-powerful wizard, right? Who controlled Oz. Bow before the all-powerful wizard, right? And then Toto, the little dog, he went, and that's how they found out that the all-powerful wizard was just this little man behind a curtain. It's all an illusion. All of it. The power they have, an illusion. Their fear tactics, all that, it's just that they do everything they can to make people think that they have these powers, and the only power that they have is the power everybody gives them. We cannot. There are ways to make them pay, and they will pay eventually for everything they've done. But in order for that to happen, everybody that's not part of it has to stand as one all across the world and make them pay for what they've done. Not cause violence, but you have to do it. Don't be violent. I'm not saying be violent, but the only way to take these motherfuckers down is to come together as one and put your fucking differences aside. Why do you think they are dividing everybody so badly? As badly as they are. And have been. Why do you think they try and keep everybody divided? Because if everybody actually thought about it and put, wait a minute, why are they trying to keep us divided? What's the reason? I figured out that the reason is so they continue with their bullshit and get to do whatever they want, the evil shit that they've been doing. If people actually woke up and realized the truth, and actually did put their differences aside, and we all did come together in that, they would piss themselves. The movie Ants. Remember, the one ant stood up to him? He didn't like that. And what did he say? He told the one grasshopper, cricket, whatever. I don't even remember what creatures they were. But the ones that made all the ants scared, right? He said, well, it was just one ant, one of them that stood up to you. It's no big deal. And what did the guy say? If one does, and they all decide to stand up against us all together, they will outrank us. They will end us. Remember? It's not along those lines. The Disney cartoon Ants. They had the ants believing that the ants had no power and that they had all the power. If the ants had realized that they outnumbered the evil bugs or whatever, the ants would have stood up and taken over. Right? Imagine we're the ants. And they're the evil bugs. Do you understand? You understand yet? We're all made to live in fear. It's to condition us to live in fear. It's all an illusion. They have no more power than the fucking... They have no more power than the homeless guy in the corner. That's as much power as they have. Except they appear that they do. They're basically all narcissists, and that's why they're able to convince everybody of the bullshit that they convince everybody of. But they are no more powerful than the homeless guy in the corner. Okay? Nah. The only power they have is the power everybody gives them. And the only way they're able to take anybody out is their little lapdogs. That's the only way they're able to do anything. That's it. And whoever this Mother Bertha is that they're saying is the leader in that, they're full of shit. She's not. Because if I'm right, because my gut's telling me, my gut tells me it's Linda. And Linda's scared of me. If I'm right, I'm telling you, they have no fucking powers. Their biggest fear is everybody catching on to the fact that they have nothing. There's nothing. The only power they have is the power everybody gives them. That's their biggest fear, that everybody wakes up to the truth and stands up as one and unites instead of divides. You gotta unite. If you want to take these monsters down and everything, you gotta unite and take in order to take them down. It's the only way it'll happen. They keep believing the bullshit that they're spoon feeding you, that they're these all powerful beings and they have all, whatever. They have no fucking powers. And they know it. I mean, if they did and they weren't worried about me, why would they have tried to sabotage my surgery and try and take me out again? Because they know that I know. But of course, I've been trying that for years, though. And the thing is, it would have been more convincing if I was actually having major surgery. No. Thank God I fucking fuck you, motherfucker. You know. But yeah, the only power they have is the power everybody gives them. And then in the end, they all grow old and they perish. Man, see you later. But yeah. Everybody just needs to stop giving them power. You know? Man, but right now I think I'm gonna end this. I am tired myself. And yeah, I need some sleep. I gotta regroup and yeah. Once everybody realizes though that the truth, they'll be shitting themselves. So, anywho, I hope you all have a great night, and I hope you all learned something. Um, and till next time, I'll see y'all later because I'm going to bed. I don't know who that is. Who's Kate Spade? Because I'm actually very tired, but I'll have to look it up and we'll discuss it tomorrow. Next time I'm on. I didn't hear about that, but it wouldn't surprise me. What was she in? See, the thing with me is, I will know an actor an actor's actor by their face, not their name. I know who David Spade is, but I don't know his sister. So, I'll look into it. That wouldn't be a bit surprised. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because, I mean, they just took out Jim Carrey, didn't they? And I'm the Queen of England, too. Chester Bennington, for example. Yeah. I can tell you now that nobody, like, here's what I know for a fact. A woman who tries or is going to herself, they would take medications, not do that with a scarf or whatever, because women want it the least amount of pain, right? And they want it quick, or they just want to fall asleep and not wake up, whatever. You know, the easiest way to do it. The whole scarf thing, no. No. That's yeah. That's anyways. Yeah, that is very suspicious for just for the simple fact it was a scarf. Anywho, I do need to get some sleep. I am doing my best not to fall asleep sitting up here. So until next time, I hope you all have a great night, and I will see y'all later. Do it. There we go. Have a good night, guys.